Funding for Schaefer-Ellis is provided by
Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. Well, this is a real full circle moment if I've ever seen one. It's been over 7 years since the video that really launched me into the stratosphere premiered. Why Disney's twist villains don't work. This is cute to look back on. Clearly I didn't really have my own style and voice as a creator back then, kind of adopting a vaguely Mr. Plinkett-like tone of voice. But you know what? I still think I stand by most of the opinions expressed in this video. And honestly, that John Lasseter joke still might be the funniest thing I ever wrote in one of these vids. Anyway, the era of Disney twist villains seems to have passed. They don't put them in every single movie anymore. Hell, they don't really have a lot of villains in their movies in general lately. They realized that they were overusing the trope, and they elected to do something different for a while now. So imagine my surprise when Disney's latest feature film, Zootopia 2, actually went back to the twist villain well. Spoilers for those of you who haven't heard all the discussion about the latest apple of all furries' eyes. This goofy, lovable Lynx boy, Paulbert, turns out to be a twist villain! Now, we have to remember that the previous twist villain in the Zootopia cinematic universe, Assistant Mayor Bellwether, is like a bottom 3 Disney villain in general. I'm pretty sure that's where I ranked her. I don't feel like checking. There is just so much wrong with her in Zootopia 1. Not in 2, I actually kind of really like her in 2. But in the first film, she's pretty easy to see coming since the Lion Mayor is an obvious red herring. She's not intimidating in the slightest, she gets like 3 minutes to be evil at the end, and during those 3 minutes, her personality entirely shifts, which means we barely get to know the evil version of her. It's like they made every wrong decision possible with her as a twist villain. And that's a shame, because, and some of you may be surprised to hear this, but in general, I actually really like twist villains, and I always have. Nothing's more fun than the collective "oh my god" moment from the audience, especially if they don't see it coming. Or, if the twist is fairly obvious, sometimes the oh my god moment from the characters that you're waiting to happen is incredibly satisfying as well. It's a great feeling that Pixar sometimes gets right, but Disney Animation rarely ever does. I think the last good twist in one of their movies was the King Candy reveal in Wreck-It Ralph, and the last time I didn't see a twist villain coming was Hans in Frozen. But to be fair, I was 15 at the time, and he had the benefit of not being part of an overused, predictable trope of theirs yet. And Hans has a lot of the same problems as Bellwether. Not enough screen time to be evil and show off his new villainous persona. Anyway, I should probably move on to Zootopia 2 now, right? I don't need to talk about that guy again, do I? I would honestly rather talk about Squarespace than what's his name from Big Hero 6. Let me demonstrate this preference right now. Squarespace is a wonderful online website builder that enables you to create beautiful websites for your business or personal hobby. I adore how easy they make it to showcase your expertise and engage clients with video content on your website. You can make stunning video libraries and even monetize your content by adding a paywall. Perfect for online courses, exclusive tutorials, and premium workshops. If you want to get discovered fast, that's where integrated Squarespace SEO tools come in. Every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more, letting you pop up more often on search engines and attract way more customers. Squarespace also offers lots of built-in donation tools. You can create a professional, on-brand website that makes it easy to accept one-time or recurring contributions, and engage your supporters. Use built-in email campaigns and marketing tools to connect with your community and inspire more people to support your cause. Check out squarespace.com/Schaefer-Ellis for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use promo code Schaefer-Ellis to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. In terms of the concept of doing another twist villain in the sequel to Zootopia, the deck was kinda stacked against Disney from the start. Their twist villains are pretty unpopular, and there are a lot of fundamental changes they would have to make in order for a new twist villain to actually land. So what did I think of Paulbert? Guys, he was actually a pretty great twist villain. It's like they watched my video and implemented every single fix I wanted for how to improve this archetype. I'm not going to assume they actually did, but it's certainly not impossible. I mean, I know these writers and artists who work at Disney are regular people who probably have kids who watch YouTube, and 11 million is a lot of views. Again, I do seriously doubt my video directly influenced anything, but man, it's a pretty crazy coincidence then that every single issue I have with Disney twist villains was fixed with this guy. Paulbert is the awkward black sheep of the Lynxley family, a nefarious group of lynxes who run the entire city and who took credit for Zootopia's weather wall system, after Paulbert's great-grandfather stole the credit for it from the snake lady who actually invented it by framing her for murder. Now Gary the Snake needs to prove that his great-grandmother was the true creator of the weather wall by finding her original patent, and Paulbert is revealed to be helping him. Together, they team up with Judy to find the patent and prove the innocence of snakes once and for all. Okay, so reason number one why Paulbert works. There's already a villain. His dad, Milton, is established pretty early on to be the main antagonist trying to kill Gary and keep covering up whatever it is Gary's trying to uncover. He doesn't appear much, but he's pretty effectively intimidating. And so my brain went, okay, they checked off the villain box. We know who it is. Moving on. I really wasn't thinking about any potential twist villains at all anymore. I was willing to accept Paulbert at his word because, well, reason number two. It seemed like the twist was that he was helping Gary. He goes to such great lengths to do it, and it's directly in opposition of his family's wishes. Yeah, nothing suspicious about that, right? Genuinely, why would he be helping Gary if he wasn't the only good member of his family deep down? Though, on my first viewing, that's an element that I started to get a little annoyed with. Oh wow, Disney can't just have every member of this rich, powerful family be evil, can they? We have to have the one token good guy who's here to help. Because not all rich and powerful people are evil, right? It's like, yeah, we don't want to offend any rich, powerful shareholders out there, I guess. You know what they say, when it comes to the universe, we're all shareholders. Get that through your system, parentheses, solar. All of that is to say, I just feel like it was pretty lazy for one of the biggest corporations in the world to have one of their movies feature a privileged guy who isn't really that bad and who helps save the day. I liked the character himself perfectly fine. I mean, Andy Samberg is pretty charming in the 4 or 5 Adam Sandler movies I had to watch him in. I just didn't really know why he needed to be here from a story perspective. Turns out, it was for pretty good reason. Oh my god, when he stabbed her with the venom thingy, my jaw actually dropped. I mean, they just obfuscated it so well. There was already a villain, and Paulbert clearly wasn't following the orders of said villain, so I legit could not figure out why he did this. But the explanation is somehow even better than the palpable shock of the reveal itself. Reason number 3 this works. Paulbert's motivation is genuinely fascinating from a psychological perspective. Instead of wanting to completely break away from his family since they treat him like a screw-up black sheep, he wants to prove to them that he is one of them by stealing and burning the patent to protect them from being exposed forever. He could have just brought Gary's letter from the mailroom directly to his father. But where's the glory in that? Nothing would really change for him. His family still wouldn't respect him. So from his perspective, this insane, elaborate plan is his best course of option. It's really risky and stupid, but that's so perfect for his character. He's not a criminal mastermind as much as he wants to be. So the fact that he and his family never would have gone to prison and been exposed if he had just told them about Gary from the start is perfect. Again, this is the only way to get the respect and affirmation he truly craves. So it's worth the risk for him. I've seen a lot of people who are sad that he didn't have a redemption arc, but I think it's entirely appropriate. Ultimately, what reason would he have to care about the plight of reptiles? He was born into this cruel, evil family, and ultimately, their mistreatment of him doesn't have any impact on how he views the rest of the world. It's sad, sure, but it really does make sense when you think about it. He just feels way more realistic than someone like Hans, and you can really notice the difference in the last exchanges they share with someone they leave to die, as they go on to try and kill someone else they love. Anna telling Hans, "You won't get away with this," and Hans saying, "I already have." Boring, cliche, uninspired, shut your goofy ass up. Judy telling Paulbert he can be different from his family, and Paulbert responding, "I don't want to be different." Delicious. Finally, some good f***ing dialogue. It just feels a lot more authentic, especially since Paulbert as a whole feels like much more of a unified character between his good guy and bad guy personas. Mostly because, reason number 4, they're the same persona. I love the fact that he just acts the exact same when he's evil, saying, "Ruh-roh, I gotta kill you guys," and whatnot. Again, it ties into him trying to be a master criminal when he's not the best at it. And it means that all that time we invested in the good guy version of him wasn't a waste, because that good guy version is his true self. Just without the being good part. He's still awkward and goofy, but the fact that he acts this way while attempting to murder all of the main characters makes him way more intimidating than the more inauthentic Hans and Bellwether. They feel more melodramatic, while this feels real. And just when I thought they killed him off with a classic Disney falling death, preventing him from getting as much screen time as I would have liked, we then get to reason number 5. He's still alive. They even went the extra mile to not give him a mere 5 minutes of screen time as a villain. He gets to keep going. He gets to briefly impress his father with his plan. He then gets that super inspired Shining reference, and he gets to absolutely lose his mind trying to take Nick and Judy down for good. They did it. They gave me everything I've wanted out of Disney's twist villains for years now. They made him unpredictable, they gave him a great motivation, they allowed ample time for him to be evil, they didn't switch his personality on a dime, and perhaps most impressively of all, they subverted what I assumed was a hard-coded need to establish that, hey, not all powerful billionaire Nepo babies are bad people. I apologize, Disney. I wasn't familiar with your game. Well, that's not fair. Disney's still an evil corporation, and every studio like them is too, to some extent. But they do enable actual artists to make some pretty good projects every now and again. So the credit is actually due to Jared Bush, Byron Howard, and the awesome artists behind this really good film. I'm starting to notice a pattern. I think I just really like the movies Bush and Howard put out. Their previous film before this one was Encanto, so yeah, I think I'm just down for whatever they do. They seem pretty passionate and creative. Anyway, check out Zootopia if you haven't already. Even if I spoiled the twist for you, it's still worth watching it in action. Oh, and in case you're hungry for a more obscure animated recommendation, you should check out Night on the Galactic Railroad. It's an 80s animated film set in a world full of cats, where 2 of them go on a life-changing psychedelic journey aboard a mysterious train. It's admittedly very slow to start, but it gets so intriguing and mystical feeling as it goes on. Definitely much more about the vibes than the plot, but the vibes are so mysterious and powerful and life-affirming that it became really hard to look away from. Again, just stick with it for the first 30 minutes. I promise it goes somewhere incredibly cool. Anyway, that's about it. Good night, Zootopia.